the GOAT. Let's do it.
This is high-speed chess. That's what you're watching.
What's going on, my guys? We are back. We're doing another resume deep dive. We have a very, very special episode today. You guys get comfortable. You guys grab a drink. This will be a long video. We'll take our time. We'll do this deep dive the correct way. We'll look at who he beat, when he beat them, where they were at in their careers, what they did after it, how many titles they captured, who did they beat. Get really comfortable. I got my Coke here today. This should be a really good video. Okay, first of all, I'm changing over to Fight Facts. Fight Facts has the WBA, and that'll give me a better scope on how great a fighter was. Somebody called me out on it. I missed the fighter who was champion because the box rec does not have the WBA. Without further ado, let's get into it. With Floyd Mayweather Jr., we're going to start probably at his first world title fight, and that was Canelo Hernandez. Canelo Hernandez was 38-1-1 at the time. He was a bit older. I do know that. He was 5'11", actually, with a pretty decent reach. That's crazy. But Canelo Hernandez first captured this world title probably a long time ago. Let me see. Yeah. He captured it in 1991. Defended that title, I'm assuming, up until Floyd Mayweather. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defenses on that page. And then he goes on, defends it a 9th time, 10th time, loses it to Oscar, actually. When does he capture it again? Captures it again against Azuma Nelson. Defends it for the 11th, 12th, and 13th time, just to make sure he was never champion before. No, he was never champ before. So that's Canelo Hernandez, everybody. So that's a pretty good win. We're talking about a guy who was 38-1 when the time Floyd got his hands on him. Yes, it was his last fight. I'll deduct a bit of points for that. But his only loss was to the great Golden Boy. He held the world title since 91, lost it 95, got it back in 96, defended it until 98. Defended it 13 times in total. Honestly, that's a pretty good win. That's a 9 out of 10 win in my book. That is a really good win. Where will we be at? Page 4. Yeah. So yeah, Canelo Hernandez, 9 out of 10 win. That's a pretty good win. You guys know how we do it. Even if we look at the ring rankings, let's see. Canelo Hernandez. He was ranked 9 consecutive years. Only year he was not ranked was the year he retired. Outside of that, Canelo Hernandez was a consensus top 6 super featherweight on the planet for a decade. That win is a 9. It's really pushing 9.5. I'm gonna say a 9 just because it was his last fight. He was a bit older, but that's a win. Very underrated on Floyd's career. He did stop him. Floyd goes on. He defends the WBC featherweight title against Angel Manfredi. Let's take a look at this guy. Manfredi was 43-8. He fought Floyd in what, 98? This guy was pretty active. Fought like 6 times in 2000. Angel Manfredi. So he fought Floyd in 98. He's WBU champion. I'm assuming he was never champion. He was never champ before Floyd. Was he champ after Floyd? He had a 12-round fight for the WBC lightweight title, which he lost to Stevie Johnson by UD. He fought Diego Corrales for the IBF super featherweight title, which he lost by 3rd round stoppage. Manfredi's not looking like the best fighter on the planet. Had a 12-round victory there. So let's take a look. I don't think he was ever ranked. Manfredi. He was ranked 5th and 4th when Floyd beat him. Let me move this. Maybe over here. So he's ranked 5th and 4th. I don't think that translated into the 2000s, and I don't think that translated to lightweight neither. So man, Freddie's a solid win. It's a 6'6", 5.5, even as low as a 5. Had a lot of losses, never captured the world title, but he was ranked top 6 for consecutive years in 97, 98. He goes on, he fights Carlos Rios. Rios finished his career 53-11. Floyd got his hands on him way back. This guy has a lot of pages. Wow. Floyd got his hands on him probably maybe the 3rd page. Okay. So Floyd got his hands on him in 99. He defended the title. It's looking like Rios. He fought for the WBC World Featherweight title. Let's see if he ever captured it. So no, I'm not saying any 12 rounders. No, he looks like a really good regional Argentinian. Is that the word? Argentinian fighter. He looks really solid on that level. Lost his first world title fight in the Philippines. Goes on. He loses another fight, which wasn't for the world title. He's coming off a UD. But before that UD, he just lost in Tijuana before fighting Floyd. Then he goes back to Argentina. Never really makes the big break onto the global scene. Really solid regional national fighter. Never made it over to the world class level. We can see where he was actually ranked at super feather. So we're looking for Rios. Not ranked. Don't think he was ever ranked. No, he was not. And I'm pretty sure he fought at featherweight. Actually, I did see that. Let's take a look at featherweight. Like I said, we're doing a deep dive. We gotta be as accurate as we possibly can be. 1990s featherweight. Rios. No. This guy's never been ranked in his career from what I'm seeing. For Floyd Mayweather, that's a pretty not that great win. I gotta be honest. That's a 4 out of 10 win. He had one world title fight. He's a really good, solid fighter in Argentina. They have a pretty decent scene, but outside of that, never makes his big break. Justin Juco. Hope I'm saying that right. Finished his career 45-12. When did he get his hands on? Where did Floyd get his hands on him? That was probably about 1999 in May. He was coming off an interim title fight, which he lost. So he's coming off a loss against Antonio Hernandez, who was 49-22, and Floyd then took on this fight. Did he ever get his hands on a world title? He held some random WBC title, WBC International Super Featherweight title. I don't believe he's ever held a world title. NABF title, okay. You got to give him points there. That's still an impressive feat to a degree. We're looking for Juco. Does it tell me the weights? He fought at super feather. That's it. He just fought at super feather. Okay. In the 90s. We could get, what is this? Junior lightweight. Okay, super feather. Get it mixed up. We're looking for Juco. No. In the 2000s, do we have a Juco? No. Not a great win again. Another 4 out of 10 type of victory. Guy was stopped 11 times. Matter of fact, that's a 3 out of 10 type of victory. The guy was stopped 11 times throughout his career. That is a filler fight. He goes on, he fights Carlos Garena. Carlos Garena was 34-2. Floyd stopped him on the stool. He made him quit in round number 7. Let's take a look at him. He finished his career 38-6. Fought Floyd in 99. Floyd was very active at this point in his career. He was coming off an 8-round UD. He was coming off a 10-round fight where he stopped the guy in 6. After losing to Floyd, he never goes on to fight for another world title. He actually doesn't have many. He only has one more 12-rounder after losing to Floyd. Before fighting Floyd, he was the WBC Continental Americas champion. And he actually held that little title for a minute. It's not enough to go off with this guy. A lot of his resume have question marks. You guys know how I feel about the question marks. And you guys know how I feel about the question marks. He held some regional Reggie belts. That's all I'm looking at. Still a guy who finished career 38-6, being stopped 4 times. It's another just 5 out of 10 win. It's another filler fight. We're not getting to the good stuff quite yet. You know, we're not getting to the fights that made Floyd Mayweather. We have Gregorio Vargas. It's 40-6. Let's make sure Garena wasn't ranked. Garena wasn't ranked. So just another filler fight for a pretty young up-and-coming guy. Well, he's not up-and-coming, but still a pretty young champion. So Goyo, 45-9. He fought Floyd in probably 2000. Or did Floyd sneak in another fight in 99? 2000. He was coming off a decent win for a WBC title. Goes on to never fight for a world title again. I don't think he ever fought for a world title before that. I'm looking at one 12-round fight where he fought for the IBA. He did fight for the IBF super featherweight title. He also fought Kevin Kelly for the featherweight title. Never seen those bouts. Solid fighter. He actually, he won the featherweight title. So he won the featherweight title in Ireland and attempted to defend it against Kevin Kelly, losing it. And then he gets another title shot against John Molina, in which he also loses. So this guy's not bad. Greg Vargas, that's what I'm calling. Greg Vargas wasn't terrible. He's a 6 out of 10 win. The guy captured a world title, defended it one time, and got knocked out in the next fight, or lost to UD in the next fight. Then we get to Emmanuel Augustus. This is a really interesting guy. And a lot of people are going to say, well, he was robbed. And I got to go off what the paper tells me. I got to go off what the paper tells me. Emmanuel Augustus, we got to do a deep dive. He was 38-34. 38-34. Already not too impressive. He fought Floyd Mayweather probably in 2001, maybe. When did he fight Floyd? He fought Floyd Mayweather in 2000. Was not for a world title. Had he fought for a world title until then? I don't know. I'm looking at IBF Intercontinental, WBO Intercontinental. I'm not looking at any world titles. A lot of losses, even if you want to say they're close fights. The guys here he's fighting, they shouldn't be close. They shouldn't be relatively close. If we're saying the Drunken Master was a great win. He wins the IBF or IBA, I'm sorry. NABF, WBC, Intercontinental. UD there. WBO. So we fought quite a bit. Junior lightweight, let's see. Augustus. Not even spot Emmanuel. No. Let's go to lightweight of the 2000s. Oh no, we're not in the 90s. Man, yeah. Not a great win. Not the most eye-opening win. Was he talented? Yes. Did he know how to win? No. Emmanuel Augustus is a guy with all the talent in the world, but he was a guy at the end of the day, he did not know how to win a fight. Not a great win. A lot of people are going to be upset about that, but the Drunken Master, I would give him a 5.5, 6 out of 10. He's just the same as these three guys. He's He just danced a bit. He's 22-16. He lost 16 times. Can't get robbed 16 times. Diego Corrales. This is a beautiful win right here, guys. This is beautiful. This should have been a unification bout. Rest in peace, Diego Corrales. He died, didn't he? Motorcycle accident, I believe. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But Diego Corrales at the time was a great fighter. He lost to Floyd. Before that, he held the IBF IBA. When did he capture the IBF title? Okay, he didn't hold it for too long. He captured it in 99, lost it in 01. He beat a guy in Angel named Freddie as well. He also beat Justin Juco. Any other notable wins? No. He then goes on to work his way back up. He gets a fight with Joel Casimir. I've heard of him. I've watched a bit of him, actually. He was the guy I wanted Floyd to fight at one point. He beats him for the WBO super featherweight title. Moves up to lightweight. This is the 2000s. He's fighting. He had the fights with Castillo. He loses those. Okay. Let's look at what's my boy's name? Diego Chico. So we need to look at the 1990 super featherweight. Diego. So he was only ranked in 99. So now let's look at the 2000s. Diego Corrales. He was ranked in 2000 and 2003. He was ranked number 1 though when Floyd beat him. He was ranked over Floyd. So it's a pretty decent win. I like Chico. That's an 8.5, 9 out of 10 type of win. I think it's about relative to Guerrero Hernandez. If you take into consideration the performance he displayed at that point, yeah, that's a really great win. He goes on, he fights Carlos Hernandez, who was 33-2. Carlos Hernandez, when he fight Floyd, he probably fought Floyd on this next page here. Fought Floyd in 01. I'm looking at it. Looks like he's never had a 12-rounder. He did for the WBC title. He lost to Guerrero Hernandez. Not a guy with a lot of championship experience. He goes on, wins the WBC Latino title. He goes on to win the IBF super featherweight title, actually. Okay. Defends it. Okay. He jumped back up and then came back down to defend it. He tries to unify with Eric Morales, loses, which is fine. Bobby Pacquiao. Guy isn't terrible. He won the title. He had a fight with Eric Morales. He had a fight with Steve Forbes. Not terrible. He's a 5.5. Let's see where he was ranked. He was a what? Super feather? Super feather of the 2000s. What are we looking at? Hernandez? Is it Carlos Hernandez? Yeah. I'm assuming Carlos Alberto Hernandez. He was ranked from 02 all the way up into 05. We could even go to the 90s and see if he was there. I'm only seeing Guerrero. Yeah. So he was ranked from 02 to 05. Not a bad win. Floyd caught him in like 02, right? 03. So Floyd caught him at a pretty decent time in his career, actually. Let's see. Floyd caught him in 01. So right before he made his big break into the top 10. But it's okay. That's a 5.5 out of 10 type of win. He fights Jesus Chavez. It was 35-1 at the time. Jesus Chavez finished his career 44-8. So he probably fought Floyd on page 3. No, page 2. So he fought Floyd. He got stopped. Jesus Chavez was the NABF champion when he fought Floyd. Don't think he had any world title experience. Just think he was NABF, which is still dope. Like, that's still a pretty great feat for a boxer. Becoming NABF, it's a stepping stone. A lot of fighters become NABF and they go on to be great fighters. So he tried to move up. He tried to take that next jump into becoming a world champion. not just the North American champion, but the world, WBC world. And he failed. And that's just sometimes the reality of these fighters. It does not make him a bad fighter. He actually goes on and captures it. In 2003, he goes on and he does win the super featherweight title. He does not defend it. He loses it to Eric Morales, which again is fine. He beats Carlos Hernandez, who we just talked about, who was ranked from 2002 to 2005. He wins the IBF world lightweight title. Doesn't defend it, which is okay. So the guy's a two-time, two-division champion. Matter of fact, he's a super feather and lightweight champion. What are we looking at here? Jesus Chavez. How long was his career? Does it tell us that? Let's see. He fought in the 90s. Let's see. Super featherweight. Jesus was ranked from 97 to 99. He goes. Fights in the 2000s as well. He's ranked from 2000 to 03. So he's ranked from 97 to 04, actually. From 97 to 04, he was ranked. Even at lightweight, let's see where he goes. At lightweight, he's ranked from 05 to 06. So another underrated win for Floyd Mayweather. You look at his record, you look at who he lost to, and you know the amount of knockout losses he had. You say, oh, this isn't a great fighter. No, this is a really great fighter, right? This is a guy who was first ranked at super feather in 1997 and goes on to leave the Ring magazine's rankings in 2006. That is impressive. That's almost a decade being ranked in divisions. He's a two-division champion as well. Jesus Chavez, in my opinion, that's a 7 out of 10 win. That's a pretty damn good win. Let's see where we leave off at. Jose Luis Castillo. This is going to be a higher one. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of people thought Floyd lost this one. We're here to go off the paper. We're here to speak the facts. He fought Floyd probably on his page 3, maybe page 4. So he fought Floyd. Okay, here. He loses to Floyd for the WBC World Lightweight title. He goes on, fights Verdell Smith, gets the rematch with Floyd, loses again. Fine. He goes on, he captures the WBC title. He defends it against Joel Casimir. Defends it again, loses to Chico, gets stopped by Chico. Just so you guys know, let me see how long Casimir was really ranked. Did Casimir break onto the scene in the 2000s? Might have been the 2000s Casimir broke onto the scene. So Casimir in the 2000s was ranked from 2000 to 2003, even ranked number 1 in 2003. All right, this guy never left outside of the top 3. He was the only guy behind Floyd. Or not the only guy, but he was the direct guy behind Floyd Mayweather. Did he ever move up to lightweight? Yeah, he even moves up to lightweight. He becomes the best guy at lightweight at 4 point. From 04 to 08, he's still ranked. So we're looking at a guy who was ranked from 2000 to 2008, almost a decade again, in the Ring magazine ranking. So when you see a guy who's beating Joel Casimir, that holds some decent weight, just to put that in perspective for you guys. So like I said, he loses to Floyd. Actually, did we look at what he was doing before this? WBC World Lightweight title. He actually captured the title against Stevie Johnson. He was an IBA title holder as well. Has the 2 Floyd losses. Is able to capture the title against Casimir. No, he defends it against Casimir. Loses it to Chico, which was a unification bout. He lost. He got stopped by Chico. He stops Chico in the 4th round. For some reason, titles wasn't on. I guess they moved up to 140 to have that fight. Either way, he stopped Chico. Really great win. Wins the NABF. Gets stopped by Ricky Hatton. We're going to get to Ricky Hatton very soon. Another great fighter. Overlooked. Never has another world title fight, but Jose Luis Castillo, that's a solid 8.5 maybe. I'll give him a good 8.5. That's a really great win. Castillo was a really solid fighter. 35-2 was Victorino Sosa. 42-4. And you know, sometimes, let me see, where did he fight at? Lightweight. I'm assuming the 90s and 2000s. He was ranked one time. He was 10th. But who knows? He might have been coming off some great wins. So he stopped Luis Sosa. See, did he ever have a world title fight? Nope. Was fighting in the Dominican Republic. National level fighter. Held national title. Oh, actually had a world title fight. Lost it, but he did have a world title fight. Okay, so a national Dominican fighter. Nothing eye-opening. We can see who he fought and what he did after losing to Floyd. Lost to Miguel Cotto. Not much. Goes back to Dominican Republic, captures that title. Not a great fighter. Not a great fighter. Floyd came off 2 really close fights with Castillo. He toned it down a bit with Mr. Sosa here. Not a great fighter. That's a good 4 out of 10 victory. He was ranked 10th at one point. Philip, I never knew how to pronounce his name. Indu. Is it Indu? I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how great he was. Still at lightweight here with Floyd Mayweather. Indu. We'll call him that. I hope I'm saying this right. You guys, please correct me down low. Might be Indo. He's finished his career 37-5. He fought Floyd at lightweight. Moved all the way up to welterweight. South African fighter, it seems like. Had a fight for the IBO, which he lost after losing to Floyd. He's coming off a 4th round stoppage when he first fought Floyd. I'm not seeing any world titles. He had the WBU title. He defended the WBU a bit, but it seems like he was really big in South Africa. Just little regional titles, just little national titles, interim, intercontinental, stuff like that. When did he make his big break? The 2000s, I guess. 2000s, lightweight. Indu. Let's see. Super feather. No, not ranked. Don't believe he was ever ranked. Actually, he fought at featherweight. Featherweight of the 2000s. Let's take a look. No. So, not the greatest win on Floyd's resume once again. Decent, okay fighter. Okay fighter. He's another 4 out of 10 win. Floyd's still kind of taking a break since the tough fights with Castillo. He goes on, he fights Chop DeMarcus Corley. It's Floyd's 140 debut. From here on out, Floyd leaves the lightweight division for good. Let's take a look at DeMarcus Corley. Finished his career 52-35. I did not know he fought that long. He fought Henry Lundy. When would he have fought Floyd? That'd be like page 6, I guess. Fought Floyd Mayweather in 2004. Was not for a world title fight. He lost to Zab Judah by split decision for his WBO title. So he actually did capture a world title at some point. We can pinpoint when he first captured it. He had the IBF USBA. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Captured WBO off Felix Flores in the first round. Defends it once, and I believe another time loses it to Zab. Loses to Floyd. Fights Miguel Cotto for that title. Loses to Cotto. Next 12 round he has is for the WBC 140 title. Loses that as well. He fights Devin Alexander for the WBC Continental Americas title. Loses that as well. No more 12 rounders there. And from here, have some more 12 rounders. Interim European, I think, is just a bit downhill for DeMarcus Corley. DeMarcus Corley did his best work in the 2000s at 140. So let's see. Corley. DeMarcus Corley was ranked from 2001 all the way up into 2006, holding a world title, the WBO world title, having significant world title fights and throughout his career. Despite losing, he's still a solid win. Still a 7 out of 10 win. Still solid. Didn't do much after losing to Floyd, but it's all good. Henry Brussels. Is it Brussels? 28-4. He finished his career. He lost to Floyd. Don't think he ever goes on to fight for a world title again. Fights for the WBO, NABO. WBO, Latino. Not really making a big break into the US scene, which is just more competitive than the where is he fighting? Puerto Rico. WBO, NABO. Doesn't really do much. What are we looking at? Brussels. He's a 140 pounder for most of his career, I'm assuming. 140 of the 2000s. See what we can find something. Was it Henry? It was. Yeah, not a great one. Another hit the WBO, NABO for a while. That's all I can give him. He had losses before fighting Floyd. Nah, it's another 4 out of 10 victory, 3 out of 10 victory. That's not it. We're getting closer to the good stuff. Arturo Gatti, a fighter that gets a lot of praise, but we do have to be just. We do have to be fair. Who was Arturo Gatti? He was actually the WBC junior welterweight champion at the time. This was Floyd's first 140 world title fight, actually. And so that's my boy's name. Arturo Gatti captures it in 04, loses it to Floyd in 05. What does he do after that? He goes on, fights again, wins the IBA title. Also goes on to fight for the WBC welterweight title. He loses to Baltimore. Has a fight with Oscar, not for a world title, which he loses. Another world title fight, which he wins. He won the IBF super featherweight title. So this guy, I said this guy. We're talking about Arturo Gatti. What am I saying here? Arturo Gatti, I'm sorry, was a pretty decent reigning IBF champion for what I'm looking at. Oh, maybe not. Pretty decent reigning champion. He goes on. These fights were at super featherweight, correct? Super featherweight. Does he ever become a lightweight champion? Defends that title again. He moves up to lightweight, loses to Manfredi, goes on a 3-fight losing streak before jumping to 140. He didn't even attempt to become champion at 135. At 140, I don't think eventually he does. He jumps to 47 to try to get the shot against De La Hoya. He becomes a 140 champion eventually, and again tries his shot against Baltimore. So 2 division champion, but he tried his shot at 3, even 4 divisions, you could argue. Let's go back a little bit in his career. Just make sure he didn't have no featherweight. Okay, he did have some featherweight fights. I don't think none of them were 12 rounders. Yeah. No 12 rounders. We could take a look at Arturo Gatti. Looking at the super featherweight division of the 90s. Arturo Gatti was ranked from 94 up into 97. I'm assuming he jumped and went to fight at lightweight. Maybe? No. Let's see, junior welterweight. He was ranked from 02 back into 05. It's a solid win. Turo Gotti was very far from just the most amazing, spectacular fighter. He lacked a lot of talent and raw athleticism, but he had a lot of heart. His heart willed him to becoming a 2-division champion, attempting 4 divisions at one point in his career. And he defended that a couple of times. That's what I'm looking for, is defenses. You could get lucky one night, but when you defend a title, that's pretty impressive. So Turo Gotti's not a bad win. 7 out of 10 win. Goes on to fight Shamber Mitchell. Little big man. Shamber Mitchell at 147. Has a title fight, I'm assuming. No, Paul Williams was not champion. Chris Smith, NABA, Costa Zoo, IBF, super light, or junior feather, whatever you want to call it. He was the IBF interim. He was the IBF interim for a while. He won the super lightweight. He won the 140 title. I believe he won it here. Defended it 1, 2, 3 times. Never got a stoppage. 4 times, I'm sorry. I lost it to Costa Zoo here in a unification bout. Yeah, I think that's about it on Shamber Mitchell. So Shamber Mitchell was a 140-pound champion who lost the title in a unification to Costa Zoo after defending that title 4 times. Most of his career was in the 2000s. Let's see. Junior welter of the 2000s. Shamber Mitchell, he was actually number 2. Shamber. I'm saying this wrong. Sharmba Mitchell. Sharmba Mitchell was ranked from 2000 to 2004. Okay, it's my bad. And at welterweight, was never ranked. Was never ranked at welterweight. So not a bad win. Not a bad win. He was ranked for a while, defended the title 4 times, lost in the unification to Costa Zoo. Not a bad win. It's a 6 out of 10 type of win. It's not bad. We're getting to the more juicy stuff now. We're getting to the Zab Judah. And this is why I'm doing these videos, because we see the names and we say, well, that was a great fighter. Well, we got to do the deep dive. We got to see just who was Zab Judah, just where was Zab Judah in his career. We know Zab Judah was a crazy talented fighter, but what did he do after that? What did he do before that? All right, we got to put these things into perspective here. I got something in my eye. We got to put these things in perspective. Zab Judah was coming off a loss to Baltimore, which already raises some suspicion on why Floyd fought him. Zab Judah was actually 3-belt unified. One title. He was the WBO off of becoming undisputed. And Corey Spinks held all these titles? Is what I'm looking at is... No. Yeah, actually. Corey Spinks held all the titles. He beat Corey Spinks. He stopped Corey Spinks. Okay. Obviously got knocked out by Costa Zoo. Was he unified? No. He tried to unify with Costa Zoo. Was on the tear, man. Costa Zoo just stopped Sharmba Mitchell for the WBA while being the WBC. It then stopped Zab Judah in 2 for the IBF. Costa Zoo was on an absolute tear. Zab Judah, what's he doing in the 90s? IBF. It's still 2000s. Did he ever hold a title in the 90s? I don't believe so. No. So Zab Judah did most of his work in the 140 division in the 2000s. I want to say he's a 2-division champion, or maybe he's 1 division. No, he had the welterweight. He was unified welterweight. He was a 2-division 3-belt unified champion at one point. Zab Judah in the 2000s probably was ranked every single year. Wow. Junior welter Zab was only ranked 4 years. Okay, he made a move to welter. Zab. And then he was ranked for almost an entire decade. From 2000 to 2008, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so he was ranked from 2000 to 2008. He held the IBF junior welterweight title. Moves up, beats Corey Spinks for the unified titles after losing to him the first time. And then he loses to Baltimore. Then he has a fight with Floyd. Really talented fighter. This is still a great win. I give at this point. What did Zab do after Floyd? Not much. You can't really hold it against Floyd entirely, but it definitely doesn't help his case. It's an 8 out of 10 win for Floyd. I like Zab Judah at that point in his career. I like what he did and what he was still doing. It's an 8 out of 10 win. He goes on to fight Baltimore, a guy who just came off beating Zab Judah. Baltimore also fought Canelo. He fought Floyd. He had to fight Floyd on page 2. So Baltimore was a WBC welterweight champion. Him and Floyd did not unify. He got that welterweight title off of Zab Judah. I don't think he had any title fights previously. No. So Baltimore doesn't seem like the greatest fighter. He did beat Arturo Gatti at 47. Gatti wasn't the best at 47. So he captures the title off of Judah, defends it against Gatti. Vernon Forrest is a great fighter we don't talk about. Loses to Floyd, loses to Vernon Forrest. Let's see. Don't think he ever gets another shot. I don't think Baltimore was ever that great. We're looking at 2000s welterweight. I don't think Baltimore was ever that great. He was only ranked for 3 years. Yeah, it's a 5.56 out of 10 win. He beat Zab. He beat Gotti. He fought with Vernon Forrest. He had the title. Never really defended it. Defended it one time. He's a decent win. Got something that's in my eye. He is definitely a decent win. God, this ring light is bright. Then we get to Oscar De La Hoya. Once again, I understand Oscar De La Hoya is a legend. I 100% understand that. But we have to do a deep dive. We have to see what he was coming from and where he went after that. So he went on to beat Steve Forbes and lose to Pacquiao after that. He was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Kind of after that Floyd fight. He was a bit older. I want to say he debuted in 92. This fight is pushing into the 2010s at this point. Beats Mayorga, stops Mayorga for the world title. That makes him a world champion once again. He tried his luck against the undisputed Bernard Hopkins. He really tried his luck against undisputed B-Hop. Did not go well for him. He got stopped with the lever shot. He did become a world middleweight champion. He did try his luck against Shane Mosley at junior middleweight. Unified Shane Mosley, that was. Or was Oscar champ? Oscar was champ. Oscar was unified. He gave Shane Mosley the chance. Mosley was able to capture it. Still unified. Won the belt here. How long was he at 154? 147. Beat Gotti. Lost to Mosley. Lost to Tito. Obakar he beat. Corte he beat. Cesar Chavez he beat. He fought Chavez in 98. Beat Chavez. Macho Camacho. This guy's resume is insane. Oscar De La Hoya, as much as I know his resume, I always go back and look at it and say, wow. I feel like you never really get the grand scope on Oscar's resume. Where did he debut at? And where was his first world title? His first world title. Super feather. Oscar's a specimen. Just to put this into perspective. Oscar was ranked at 93 at super feather. Let's pull up the lightweight division of the 90s. So he was ranked 93. He was ranked 94, 95. And I'm pretty sure he makes the move up to junior welter. Okay, yeah, he makes the move up to junior welter in the 90s. Junior welter of the 90s. So it was ranked 93, 94, 95, 96. He was ranked number 1. So already, about 4 years into his career, he becomes a 3-division champion. He jumps up to welter in 97. All within a decade. Welterweight of the 90s. So we already established he was ranked 93, 94, 95, 96. Now he's ranked 97, 98, and in 99 at welterweight. How long is he at welterweight? Let's see. He's at welterweight for a very long time. So let's go to welter of the 2000s. Welterweight of the 2000s. He's ranked in 2000. He drops out of the rankings. For what reason exactly? Because he lost to Mo. Why did he drop out of the rankings? That is weird. But even if we go to junior middle of the 2000s, we're still looking at Oscar De La Hoya being ranked. Okay, moved up. 01, 02, 03, takes a bit of a step back for 04, 05, comes back 06, 07. He's still ranked. So Oscar, spectacular win. I can't take anything away from Floyd. Oscar De La Hoya is a true prodigy. He's a true talent. He's one of the greatest American amateurs we've seen. A guy being ranked from 1993 up into 2000, being on the universal pound for pound, being top 3, top 5 in every division he's touched, becoming 3-division champion in a decade. I can't take nothing away from Floyd with that victory. I get it. Oscar went on to retire shortly after, which is fine. I will deduct half a point on that one. I give it still a 9.5 victory. I still like Oscar De La Hoya when Floyd fought him. Floyd was the guy moving up. Floyd was the one testing, or trying to test his luck at 154. So 9.5 out of 10 for me. Then he goes on, he fights Ricky Hatton. And this win honestly might be better than Oscar. I know Oscar has the name value, but I'm pretty sure Hatton was champ for a long time. Intercontinental. When does he actually capture the title? So Hatton was one of the greatest British fighters. On the national scene, Hatton was one of the greatest. Held a lot of national and just WBC intercontinental titles, stuff like that. Hatton, when does he capture the actual title though, man? What in the world? I really thought Hatton was this long reigning champion. Captures it off Costa Tszyu. Costa Tszyu, same guy we spoke on, tearing through the division. He stops Costa Tszyu. He defends it or unifies it at another stoppage. Defends it again. Defends it again. And defends it again with a stoppage against Castillo. Moves up. Tries his luck against Floyd at 47. Moves back down. Captures another title. Not a world title. But he captures another title. Defends that against Malignaggi. Tries to do it against Pacquiao. Unsuccessful. It's all good. Ricky Hatton might have been ranked for a decade. This guy is one of the greatest, if not the greatest junior welterweight of all time. This guy from 2001 to 2009. So he just missed 1 year. He just missed the 2000s. If you guys have not done your research on Ricky Hatton, the Hitman, there's a reason why. 05 he was number 1 above Floyd Mayweather. 06 number 1, 07 number 1, 08 number 1. Jumps up to welterweight, tries his luck against Floyd. Ricky Hatton is still right there with Oscar. Like, I'm not gonna say a 9.5 because he's not the talent of the Golden Boy, but he's a 9 out of 10 victory. He's a really great victory. I'll give him a good 9 out of 10 for the Hitman, Ricky Hatton. And why is this thing taking so long to load? Okay. We go on to Juan Manuel Marquez. This was at a catchweight in which Floyd did miss the weight. Yeah, so that is a bit interesting. Can we load Marquez? Okay. Juan Manuel Marquez. Juan Manuel Marquez at the time was a lightweight champion, which is interesting. Floyd moved him up to do a catchweight at 143, which Floyd came overweight at 146. He was a unified lightweight champion. He went back down to lightweight and captured some more titles, defended those titles, eventually jumps to 140, tries his luck against Pacquiao for the 19th time, loses to Pacquiao 47, gets the interim title, which allows him to get another fight with Pacquiao. He actually knocks out Pacquiao at 47, which is still pretty impressive. Split decision loss to Tim Bradley, and finished his career as an international title fight. But Marquez is a really great fighter. Stopped Joel Casimir. Had those tough close fights with Pacquiao. The guy fought through so many divisions. He fought from 26 to 47. So a 4-division champion. I'm not saying just at the absolute peak of his career, but at a pretty decent point in his career, he still went on to do great things. He still went on to become champion and unify other divisions. He still went on to knock out Manny Pacquiao. Despite Floyd missing weight, still a great victory in my opinion. I would give Marquez a good 8. I like 8. Shane Mosley. This was not for a world title. This is welterweight. This is the first fight in 2010s. What was Shane Mosley doing? Where was Shane Mosley at? He was coming off a 9th round stoppage against Antonio Margarito for the Super WBA title. Okay, let's go back a bit more. Shane Mosley was coming off Mayorga. He stopped Mayorga, lost to Cotto. When was the last time he was champion? I don't know about this one. Lost to Winky Wright for the unification of the junior middleweight division. Lost to Winky Wright twice. Beat De La Hoya back in 03. That's too far back. We're looking at 2010. Nah, I don't know, man. Draw Sergio Mora. Dominated by Pacquiao. Dominated by Canelo. Doesn't go on to fight for or win a world title ever again. I think, yeah, after like the Margarito stoppage is really saving him. It's after this Floyd, when Floyd got to him, he was really past. He was really damaged. He was really not it. Like, Mosley debuted in 93. He was 17 years into his career. Hey, I get it, it's Shane Mosley, and it's crazy to say, but at this point in his career, he wasn't just the guy he used to be at lightweight. See how long Mosley was ranked. Mosley, he fought at lightweight in the 90s, right? So he's ranked from 94 up into 98. So I'm assuming he makes the jump to junior welter. Junior welter, where's junior welter? Assuming he makes the jump to junior welter here. No. Just taking off the rankings. He was never ranked at junior welter in the 2000s. What about the welterweight division? So from 2000 to 2007, 2009, basically. Wasn't consecutive, but from 2000 to 2009, he was ranked. We can even go to junior middle. I think that will explain the gaps in his ranking. So he was ranked from 2000 to 2009. So when Floyd beat him, he was still ranked. It's a solid victory. I was leaning more towards a 6.5. This is a good 7.5 victory in my opinion. Shane Mosley was still really great. I think we're done with page 2. Oh yeah, we've been done with page 2. So we're finally winding down. We're finally getting to the better stuff of Floyd's career. We got Victor Ortiz coming up next. Victor Ortiz lost his next 2 fights after losing to Floyd. How great was Victor Ortiz? He was the WBC World Welterweight Champion. I don't think he ever defended that title. Super lightweight. He tried his luck. Yeah, he never defended that title. Come on, load. Yeah. We're looking at 2010's welterweights. Let's see what we got. Victor Ortiz was only ranked in 2011 and 2012. When did Floyd catch him? Floyd caught him in 2011. Was he junior welter of the 2000s? Victor. And not the most impressive win. This is a 5.5. This is a 6 out of 10 type of victory. Goes on, he fights Miguel Cotto. This was at 154. Miguel Cotto was coming off stopping Margarito. He was coming off stopping Mayorga. He was still champion. He was champion. He was WBA champion. Came off that Pacquiao stoppage, but he was still able to climb back up. Even after the controversial Margarito loss, he went on to capture the WBO welterweight title. He's a 4-division champion at the end of the day. He did most of his work in the 2000s at welterweight. He was only ranked for 4 years, 06 to 09. Kind of crazy. No, it's not. No, it's not. He was probably at welterweight. That is probably what it was. 2000s welterweight or junior welterweight. My bad. 2000s junior welterweight. Cotto. Okay, 03 to 05. Can we get lightweight? Maybe he was at lightweight as well. I think he was at lightweight because he is a 4-division champion. Just wasn't ranked, which is kind of crazy to think. He was a champion at lightweight, I thought. He was a champion at 160. That's what makes him 4-division. At 160, he became champion. I believe. Let's make sure I'm not tripping here. Beat Sergio Martinez. He beat the pound for pound Sergio Martinez. Exactly. So even after losing to Floyd, yes, he lost to Austin Trout. But he does go on. He beats Sergio Martinez for 4-division, defends that title, loses it to Canelo. Actually gains another title back before his second to last fight. So Miguel Cotto, this is a 9 out of 10 win as well. I really do like this win. He was coming off the losses to Pacquiao and Margarito at one point, but I think he was over that point in his career. I think he was a new fighter. He found a new fresh breath of air, and I like the Miguel Cotto win for Floyd Mayweather. Then he fights Robert Guerrero, the Ghost. Let's see. Robert Guerrero, the Ghost Guerrero. Go to the welterweight 2000s. Robert Guerrero was ranked for 3 years. Dabbing in and out of the top 5, 2012 to 2014. Floyd beat him. Guerrero was the interim WBC champion. the interim WBO, interim WBA. I guess he decided to go with the WBC route. He beat Joel Casimir. Casimir seems to be a bit past it at this point. We've been talking about him for the last 2 decades now. Actually was a featherweight champion. I did not know that. The Ghost, the Guerrero, was a featherweight champion. He made a pretty quick leap. He made a pretty quick leap up in the welterweight then. Wow, that makes me look at this win totally different. Did he even give his body time? He's at featherweight in 2009. Fights Floyd in 2013. So he just goes lightweight. It's a pretty quick jump. He gave himself time. He beat a guy in Andre Berto, so I'm not mad at it. Guerrero, he's a 1 division champion. He still goes on. He fights Keith Thurman for a world title, loses that. He fights Danny Garcia for a world title, loses that. Not the greatest win. He's a 6 out of 10. Featherweight world champion, still a pretty decent fighter at the time Floyd got his hands on him. The decent win. Canelo, we did Canelo's deep dive, man. Make sure you guys go watch that video. Canelo resume is a bit insane itself. So Floyd fights Canelo in 13. Who was Canelo before fighting Floyd? Well, I'll tell you. Canelo had captured the WBC junior middleweight title. And when did he capture it? He captured it in 2011 against Matthew Hatton. And he defended that title all the way up into 2013. He defended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Beating Austin Trout. Who also beat Miguel Cotto, which we spoke on. And Miguel Cotto went on to beat the pound for pound Sergio Martinez. And then we know what Canelo does after the Floyd loss. You would have to go 10 out of 10 for this victory because of the performance, because of who Canelo was and who he went on to be. I could see if you went 9.5. Canelo was still fairly young, but he had championship experience. That's why I'm leaning more towards 10. It's a 10 or a 9.5. It depends on how you want to slice the cake. Anything under that is a bit crazy. He goes on, he fights Marcos Maidana. Maidana finished his career 35-5. Actually retired after these Floyd losses. I think Maidana just beats AB for the WBA, and it's pretty much all he did with his career. Oh no, I'm sorry. He beat a pretty old Eric Morales at this point, I believe. Yeah, Eric Morales is pretty old. See, when did Eric Morales debut? Eric Morales debuted in 93. So yeah, he beat a pretty old Eric Morales. He lost to Amir Khan. Beat a pretty old DeMarcus Corley at that point. He beat Victor Ortiz. He stopped Victor Ortiz. But first time he gets his hands on a world title is against Adrian Broner. Broner was undefeated. It was a pretty big upset. Adrian Broner was on the pound for pound. Floyd takes on Maidana immediately, and he gets the job done twice. Solid win. There's 8 out of 10 wins. He beat a pound for pound AB. I think the Maidana wins, you give him 8 out of 10. He goes on to fight Pacquiao. This fight was well overdue, but let's see. Pacquiao was coming off the Chris Algieri fight, in which he dominated. It was also coming off some pretty bad losses at one point. It was coming off the brutal knockout stoppage of Marquez, but dominated Brandon Rios, beat Tim Bradley to become WBO welterweight champion, beat Marquez to defend that title, beat Mosley, beat Margarito. We know who Pacquiao beat. Even dominated Ricky Hatton, dominated Cotto, dominated Oscar. And then even after fighting Floyd, he still goes on, finishes the trilogy with Bradley, fights Jesse Vargas, gets robbed by Jeff Horn. Matisse, he stops AB. He beats on Keith Thurman. He beats on, then he becomes the only champion over the span of 4 decades. He becomes the oldest welterweight champion. Tries his luck against Mario Barrios, in which he was ruled not the victor, but it was a draw. Manny Pacquiao, not a 10 out of 10, bit past it, a little bit past it. I lean more towards a 9.5. I lean more towards a 9.5. Then we get to Andre Berto. We're finally getting towards the end of this thing. It's a really long video. I hope you guys definitely got comfortable. I hope you guys are enjoying if you made it this far. It's good stuff. Andre Berto. I've been losing my voice. In and out my voices. I'm losing it. Come on, load for me, dog. Andre Berto, here we go. Andre Berto was coming off a decent victory for the interim title in ABF, WBC interim. Andre Berto was the IBF welterweight champion. No, he was champion. Never defended that title, I believe. PC is slowing down on me. Let's see why that loads. I believe Berto did most of his work. Golly. I believe he did most of his work in the 2010s. He was ranked only for 2 years, 2010 and 2011. So when Floyd got him in 15, he was not that great. Not that great. He did some work in the 2000s, actually. Didn't know that Andre Berto actually captured the title 2008, and he kind of held it for a while. So not a bad win. That's a 6.57 out of 10 win for a guy like Floyd Mayweather. It's not the worst win on the planet. Where are we at? You guys bear with me. Computer's slowing up terribly. Good thing we're at the final opponent for Floyd Mayweather. His greatest opponent is this. We're gonna switch over to BoxRec. Conor McGregor. So it's not Fight Facts. It is just my computer. Conor McGregor, 10 out of 10 victory. We don't even have to do the deep dive on him. I don't know what's going on. This thing's crashing out. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If I had to rank Floyd Mayweather's resume in terms of who he beat, when he beat him, what they did after, what they had done before, how many world titles they captured, if we excuse the names and look at who they were as fighters, that's the biggest thing I want to do for this series. Stop looking at the name and look at who they were. A lot of you people see Shane Mosley and say 10 out of 10. No, you got to look at where he was. He was still really good. He was still a great fighter. Floyd Mayweather's resume, in my opinion, is very close to a 10 based off his longevity, based off him becoming 5 division, based off how many Hall of Famers, world champions he beat. But if you wanted to lean closer to a 9.5, that's fine. I would lean it really close to a 10, about a 9.7 to a 10. But you guys let me know in the comments below. How do y'all feel about Floyd Mayweather's resume? Where would you put him all time? What would you rank it?